So then, Formula E and the Berlin ePrix. Two different races, two different results. Let's have a bit of a chat about them because it could potentially be the last one for Berlin. This is a rumour that we've been hearing for a while, that Tempelhof might not continue into Gen 4. And it'd be a shame. I do think that this version of Tempelhof is not my favourite. My favourite is still the original. But it's still good. It produces good racing and produces interesting quirks such as the power saving that we saw over the course of this weekend. But it also produces a real kind of lottery for the slipstream fest that it also gets. When you look at race 1, you'll see the top 4 all qualified in the top 6. When you look at race 2, the top 7 were all 10th or lower, with the exception of poleman Pascal Wehrlein in 3rd. Mitch Evans, who won, started in 17th. Oliver Rowland in 2nd, started 18th, and got bogged down off the start as well. Then you have Buemi, who started 13th in 4th. Nato started 16th in 5th. Yes, it was messy. There was the collision for Nick de Vries with Nick Cassidy. Then there was Cassidy's later collision with Buemi. He seemed to just not like the Toyota WEC drivers. There was a comment, wasn't there, that Cassidy made in the second race of, oh, he says that he doesn't make mistakes on the job. I think that was about de Vries, which I also think is somewhat ironic because, I mean, the F1 world had a really mean nickname for Nick de Vries when he was there. And it was due to him making mistakes whilst in the office. But, yeah. Two completely different sets of results. The main consistency is there's a Porsche and there's Oliver Rowland. Like, outside of that, you couldn't really tell where it was going to go. I mean, heck, for a lot of the first race, the two Lolas were up in the top 10. They were fighting for the lead. Zane Maloney did lead at one point. And yet they're 15th and 17th come race end. Then race 2 they're 16th and 17th, even though Maloney again, P6 on the grid. Heck, the Cooper Heroes came from the back row to just outside of the top 10 by the end of the race. And what this meant is a real shake-up in the championship order. Because for a while, it meant that Nico Müller was leading the championship. Now he's down to 5th. Pascal Wehrlein is up in the lead on 101 points. Mitch Evans is on 98 in 2nd. Mortara is 3rd on 93. Then 4th on 83 is Oliver Rowland. Then it's Müller. Then it's Nick Cassidy. Then Dennis DaCosta Buemi Marti. It's been one of the most Formula E of Formula E seasons. We've got that title battle going on. You've got the top 5 separated by, what, a race win? Well, a max haul including the pole position. And even in teams, yeah, for a couple of them, there's one driver carrying the lion's share of the points. So when you look at Mahindra, Nissan and Citroën, they're 107, 94 and 83, 3rd, 4th and 5th. But the top 2 in Porsche and Jag, as it has been the last couple of seasons, it's really anyone's game between the two teams. 176 to 163. And in the manufacturers, it's 14 points in there, 228 to 214. Behind them is Stellantis on 123, Nissan on 116. Those two are going to be in their own little battle. Mahindra's just behind them on 102. It does feel mean for Lola that they're down there on 24 points, but if you think about it, the Cupra is running the Porsche powertrain. Mahindra have their own powertrain. I can't remember if they're supplying again this season as well. But yeah, it is a little bit unfair. But it's not entirely their fault that they're down there, because they don't have, you know, two teams that are running the powertrains. Anyways, folks, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. Thanks for continued support. Till next time. Bye for now.